The legacy of Robert Death Kennedy's children is a tale of triumphs, tragedies, and turbulence. The Kennedy name looms large in American political history, built on historic achievements and shadowed by profound loss. At the center of this legacy stand the 11 children of Robert F. Kennedy, each carrying both the power and the weight of their heritage. Their lives have played out before a watching nation, fueled by ambition, advocacy, personal struggle, and unavoidable controversy. Here, we follow the individual paths of RFK's children, uncovering how each has helped shape the enduring Kennedy saga. Before we continue, subscribe for rare history you won't hear anywhere else. Number 1. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Born in 1954, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. emerged as one of the most visible figures among RFK's children. Trained as a lawyer, he became a leading environmental activist through his work with the Natural Resources Defense Council and the Waterkeeper Alliance, organizations dedicated to environmental protection and clean waterways. His legal career centered on fighting pollution and advocating for environmental accountability. Alongside these achievements, Robert faced serious personal struggles. Battling drug addiction from an early age, his descent culminated in a 1983 arrest for heroin possession at the Sioux Falls Airport in South Dakota. Sentenced to community service, he later spoke openly about addiction, using his experiences to advocate for treatment programs and recovery within constant public view spotlight. Number 2. Joseph P. Kennedy II. Joseph P. Kennedy II, born in 1952, carried forward the family's political legacy through congressional career. He served 6 terms in the United States House of Representatives from 1987 to 1999, representing Massachusetts's 8th congressional district. During his time in office, he gained recognition for his focus on social and environmental issues, aligning with the reform-driven ideals long associated with the Kennedy name. However, his public service was overshadowed by controversy. The most enduring incident occurred in 1973, when a car accident on Nantucket Island left Pam Kelly, his brother David's companion, permanently paralyzed. The tragedy followed him for decades, shaping public perception of both his career and personal life. His marriage to Sheila Rauch ended in a highly publicized annulment battle that was openly contested. Joseph's story reflects the recurring Kennedy pattern of ambition, service, and personal turmoil. Number 3. Kathleen Kennedy Townsend. Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, born on Independence Day in 1951, forged a political path while living in the shadow of her celebrated father. After earning a law degree from the University of New Mexico and a master's degree from Harvard University, she stepped into public life. Entering the political arena, she rose through government ranks. Her most visible role came as Maryland's lieutenant governor from 1995 to 2003 under Governor Paris Glendening, where her leadership emphasized education, healthcare, and public safety. These years defined her reputation as a policy-focused leader. Despite that record, her 2002 campaign for governor ended in defeat to Republican Robert Ehrlich, a setback that marked a difficult moment in her career. Yet she did not step away from public service. Instead, Kathleen redirected her efforts toward advocacy, education, and nonprofit organizations, continuing the Kennedy family tradition of civic responsibility. Number 4. Michael L. Kennedy. Michael Lemoyne Kennedy, born on February 27, 1958, embodied both the compassion and controversy that frequently defined his family's history. He was deeply involved in charitable efforts, particularly through the Citizens Energy Corporation, a nonprofit founded by his brother Joseph to provide affordable heating oil to low-income and elderly households. His dedication to social causes reflected a genuine desire to serve others. However, his personal life became overshadowed by scandal when allegations surfaced of an affair with an underage babysitter. The accusations quickly became public, severely damaging his reputation and drawing intense media attention. Tragedy struck soon after. On December 31, 1997, Michael died in a skiing accident in Aspen, Colorado, while playing football on skis with other family members. He collided with a tree in full view of his relatives, turning a family gathering into a moment of devastation. His death at the age of 39 marked yet another painful loss in the Kennedy story. Number 5. Mary Courtney Kennedy. Mary Courtney Kennedy, commonly known as Courtney, was born on September 9, 1956, and emerged as a figure closely associated with philanthropy and humanitarian work. Her efforts reflected the Kennedy family's long tradition of social involvement, with active participation in causes related to human rights and environmental protection. Through these pursuits, she aligned herself with the broader public service values that had long defined her family's public image. Yet behind the scenes, Courtney's personal life unfolded amid considerable difficulty. In 1980, she married professional sailor Jeffrey Robert Rua, but the marriage ended in divorce. Later she married Paul Michael Hill, one of the Guildford Four, who had been wrongly imprisoned for 15 years before his conviction was overturned. That relationship also ended in divorce, followed by a highly publicized custody battle over their daughter. These personal struggles, played out in the public eye, highlighted the constant tension between private hardship and public legacy that has so often surrounded the Kennedy family. Number 6. David A. Kennedy. David Anthony Kennedy, the fourth child of Robert and Ethel Kennedy, was born in 1955 into a family already carrying enormous public weight. From an early age, David struggled deeply, his childhood shaped by expectations few could escape. The assassination of his father in 1968 marked a turning point, leaving scars that followed him into adulthood and contributing to lasting emotional and psychological pain. As he grew older, David's battle with drug addiction became publicly known, mirroring a tragic pattern that would define much of his short life. His struggle was prolonged and exhausting, marked by repeated attempts at rehabilitation and moments of hope that were often followed by relapse. Ultimately, the battle proved overwhelming. On April 25, 1984, David was found dead in a hotel room in Palm Beach, Florida, at just 28 years old. A toxicology report later revealed multiple substances in his system, including cocaine, Demerol, and methadone, sealing one of the Kennedy family's most heartbreaking chapters. Before we jump to the next story, hit like and subscribe for the story's history left out. Number 7. Christopher G. Kennedy. Christopher George Kennedy, born on July 4, 1963, chose a direction that separated him from the political paths followed by many in his family. Rather than pursuing elected office, he focused on business leadership and philanthropy, building influence away from campaign trails and public office. He led Merchandise Mart Properties in Chicago, one of the largest commercial building management organizations in the United States. Under his leadership, the Merchandise Mart evolved into a thriving center for business, commerce, and design innovation, becoming a major hub for entrepreneurs and creatives alike. Beyond his professional success, Christopher remained deeply involved in community service and charitable initiatives. He served on numerous boards, including the University of Illinois Board of Trustees and the Chicago Convention and Tourism Bureau. Unlike several of his siblings, his life and career have remained largely free of scandal or controversy, highlighting a quieter but equally impactful version of the Kennedy legacy. His journey reflects a balance of business acumen and social responsibility, continuing the family's tradition of public service in a distinct and understated way. Number 8. Carrie Kennedy. Carrie Kennedy, born on September 8, 1959, dedicated her life to human rights advocacy, closely following the moral vision of her father, Robert F. Kennedy. She founded the Robert F. Kennedy Center for Justice and Human Rights, now known as Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights, and serves as its president. The organization works globally on issues of social justice, focusing on education, legal advocacy, and the defense of human rights. Despite her accomplishments, Carrie's life was not free from public scrutiny. In a highly publicized legal case, she was charged with drug driving following a July 2012 incident in which she accidentally took a sleeping pill instead of her thyroid medication before driving. Found swerving on a New York highway, she failed a roadside sobriety test. During the trial, Carrie testified about the mistake and was ultimately acquitted. The case drew widespread attention, underscoring the enduring public fascination with the Kennedy family. Number 9. Matthew Maxwell Taylor Kennedy. Matthew Maxwell Taylor Kennedy, commonly known as Maxwell, was born on January 11, 1965, and forged his own identity as an author and activist. Through writing, he explored history, politics, and personal reflection, producing several books that examined both public ideals and private experiences. His most notable work, Make Gentle the Life of This World: The Vision of Robert F. Kennedy, offered an intimate biography of his father, blending memory with political legacy. Maxwell's writing frequently engages with social and political themes, drawing inspiration from the Kennedy family's long involvement in American public life. Alongside his literary pursuits, he actively participated in political and social causes, campaigning for various political figures and movements. While he maintained a lower public profile than some of his siblings, his work in literature and activism upheld the Kennedy tradition of civic engagement, merging thoughtful reflection with broader social concerns. Number 10. Rory Kennedy. Rory Elizabeth Kennedy, born on December 12, 1968, after the assassination of her father, built a powerful and independent career as a documentary filmmaker. She directed and produced numerous acclaimed documentaries that examined social issues such as poverty, political corruption, domestic abuse, and human rights. Her films, including American Hollow, Ghosts of Abu Ghraib, and Last Days in Vietnam, earned critical acclaim and multiple awards. Rory's work is defined by a deep commitment to social justice and a determination to amplify underrepresented voices. Through storytelling and film, she continued her family's legacy of public service in a personal and creative form, establishing herself as a significant voice in contemporary documentary cinema. Number 11. Douglas H. Kennedy. Douglas Harriman Kennedy, born on March 24, 1967, took a different route by choosing a career in journalism, stepping away from the political world that defined much of his family's history. He worked as a reporter for multiple news organizations, including Fox News, where he covered significant national events and major stories. Despite his professional accomplishments, his career was not without controversy. In 2012, Douglas drew national attention after an altercation at a New York hospital. The incident began when he attempted to take his newborn son outside for fresh air, leading to a physical confrontation with nurses. He was charged with harassment and child endangerment, accusations that placed him firmly in the media spotlight. Although the charges were later dismissed, the episode highlighted the intense scrutiny that continues to surround the Kennedy name and the lasting public fascination with the family's actions. If this story surprised you, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay with us for more untold histories they never wanted you to hear.